Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Li Lao. Today we are going to talk about moral values. Human moral sense is believed to be innate. We are all born with some basic moral principles like compassion and fairness. But the actual moral system of a society derives from their cultural traditions and their worldview. The core moral values of the West are based on Christian moral principles, which stem from the concept of the God. God is omnipotent, perfect, and eternal. Bible is the source of the moral guideline. Christian morality is about relationship between God and human. The three pillars are love, justice, and truth. They can be summarized in one word: grace or grace of God. They are absolute and unconditional, just as German philosopher Immanuel Kant put it as categorical imperative. Even some so-called secular moral values like liberalism and democracy tend to pursue the perfectness of the quality of those moral concepts in an absolute way and unconditionally. Traditional Chinese believe that the perfectness derived from harmony or balance of yin and yang. The Chinese core moral values developed from such beliefs. They are Xiao Zhong Yi. They can be summarized in one word: ren. There are absolutely no equivalents in other languages, as these concepts are uniquely from Chinese moral traditions. You cannot grab the precise meaning just by consulting a Chinese English dictionary in a few words or in a sentence. You probably need a few pages or even a book to fully understand such concepts. The character ren already reveals its basic meaning. The left part means person or human. The right part means two. Unlike Western morality, which stems from relationship between God and human, here it is about relationship between two persons. Its basic meaning is to be good to others. It is not absolute. It is relative, mutual, and reciprocal. If you are not ren, I will not be yi, is acceptable to most Chinese. It reflects Chinese traditional Yin-Yang theory, pursuing harmony and Yin-Yang balance. Human relationship is about take and give. Take is considered as yin, give is considered to be yang. It is about the balance of the take and give. It is considered immoral when one takes more than he gives. Giving more than taking to avoid the opposite is always desire, and it is considered the most moral acts. The key word to understand the Chinese morality is return. As the very popular saying puts it, a drop of water in favor will be returned by a burst of spring. Xiao means to be good to your parents. It is also translated in English as filial piety. For Chinese, Xiao is the most important virtue above all other virtues. Xiao is central in Chinese moral values and the root of other virtues. You may ask why. Supposing you have grown up and you are now 18 years old. Who has given you the most in this world? Of course, your parents. It is to your parents you owe the most. So at this moment, it is the situation the least balanced. You should return all this by offering all your love, respect, financial support, and even blind submission as a sacrifice to your parents if needed. Xiao is so important that it becomes a norm to judge a person if it's moral or not. In the imperial time, there was a practice called Dingyou. If a government official's mother passed away, the emperor would order him to go back to his home village and stay there for 3 years to accompany his mother's grave. Such a rule was to emphasize the importance of this moral principle. Zhong means to be good to your superior. This is about relationship between emperor and his ministers or government officials. But this can be extended to the relationship between teacher and students, master and disciples, leader and followers, coach and players, etc. The rule of the take and give prevails. A minister should know what he has today is given by emperor, so he should remain loyal to the emperor and work hard to repay him. For the same reason, students and disciples owe their knowledge and living skills to their teacher and master. Therefore, they should show respect and submission and even materialistic return to them. Yi means to be good to your related person. It is about the relationship with a person besides parents and superior. This word can be exchangeable to ren. Chinese have a very strong sense of take and give in a relationship. They constantly keep a balanced sheet in mind. I remember once my grandma told me when I was a child, one bowl comes, one bowl returns. Bowls will break if no return. When they realize they own somebody, they know they should return timely to keep their balance sheet balanced. Otherwise, they will feel guilty. They will feel even more comfortable when giving is more than taking. Keeping all this in mind, you will better understand some phenomena you will encounter when you travel in China. First, Chinese treat a related person more warmly than a stranger. When you come across a stranger by accident, you may not set up a balance sheet with him, as you may not meet him again. The law of take and give does not involve in such a relationship. The moral principle Yi does not apply. Second, Chinese tribute system. A tribute was normally paid by a smaller ruler to a more powerful state to acknowledge his allegiance and submission. Chinese emperors always boasted of the numbers of their tribute missions they received in their capital every year. Did they really accept Chinese superiority? Probably only some of them. There was a secret behind. Chinese emperors, just like any Chinese, followed the moral principle Yi and would feel guilty and immoral if they didn't return more gifts of higher value to those foreign envoys. Some of the foreign rulers actually got much more as return gifts from the Chinese emperors than the tribute they offered. Tribute missions turned out to be a profitable business. Some merchants even take advantage of the Chinese tribute system and pretended to be the envoy of their country's ruler. Third, fighting over the bill. Anyone who has lived in China for a while knows that when friends eat out together, instead of going Dutch, everyone rushes to get a bill to pay and eventually turn to a fighting over the bill. You might say, why don't they let others to pay, then they get a free meal? This is because Chinese moral rule prevails. Everyone will feel guilty if they don't fight to get the bill and their take and give balance sheet turn red. Watch the following 2 video clips. They look unrelated, but actually what they're trying to achieve is the same.
We are sending a message to Beijing. America is watching, and we will not stand silent.
That atrocities such as these can exist in the 21st century is astounding and enormously sad. We cannot be silent. We must demand an end to these barbaric practices and accountability from the Chinese government. We must say never again to the cultural genocide and the atrocities suffered by the Uyghurs and others in China.
我请，不是那什么，哎，你别拿钱啊！我今天我请，下把你请，干什么瞧不起我是吧？别，哎，怎么回事？拿。
They were trying to do the same thing. They were all trying to take the moral high ground. Thank you for watching. See you next time.